Hey guys! Today's video is about how to improve your grades. And this video is sponsored by Pearson Smart Thinking, which is an online tutoring service that I will be telling you more about later on in the video. So how exactly can you improve your grades? To figure this out, let's start off by first thinking about what grades really are exactly. They're just a percentage of the points you could have possibly earned from all of the assignments in the class versus the points that you actually did earn. And to raise this average, there are two possible methods. One is to get some extra credit points. This might not be an option in every single class depending on your teacher and how the class works. So the second option, which is mostly what I'll be focusing on today, is to just keep doing better in the assignments you have in the future. That way they will raise the average you have of points possible versus points earned. It's going to take a lot of hard work. There are no magic tricks in this video that will automatically fix your grade. In the end, it comes down to the hard work that you do to earn more points on all of your assignments and tests. But don't lose hope, stay positive. It's always possible to improve your grades, especially if you do really well in some huge assignments like a final exam or a big test or project. The first step I recommend is to take a closer look and reflect on the grades you got before, either in the same subject or class in the past, or the assignments that you currently have in your grade for a certain class. Usually there are a couple of different categories, such as tests, quizzes, homework, projects, and essays. Best case scenario, your teacher already has all of these separate grade categories divided up in the grade book. Or you can go through and separate them yourselves and figure out your average for each category. Then once you know which section is your weakness, which one is bringing your grade down the most, you can focus on improving that one because that's where you'll see the most increase in average while still doing your best to maintain good scores in all of the other areas. So let's start with tests, quizzes, final exams, and all other forms of assessments. The first step is to make sure that you actually understand the material. A test or quiz is just a way for you to transfer all of the knowledge that you have and show the teacher what you know. So you gotta make sure that you actually know things so that you can do well on these tests and quizzes. If you're having trouble understanding things from the lectures or textbook readings, go and ask your teacher for help. You could also get a tutor, and one option that I recommend is Pearson Smart Thinking. This is an online tutoring service where tutors are available on demand, which is super convenient. It allows you to be tutored individually at any time. The tutors on this platform are highly trained and very knowledgeable. Almost all of them have a master's degree in the subject that they're tutoring. Also, if you buy an hour of tutoring, but you don't use it all up in one session, the minutes can transfer over, so you won't be wasting your money. I found it really helpful to get an additional explanation for some of the really difficult concepts in Calc BC to supplement the information that I got from the lecture and make sure that I really understand what I'm doing. Besides just getting tutoring help, you can also send in your essay to review and improve your essay grades, which I will go over later on in the video as well. So check it out at smartthinking.com. Besides Pearson Smart Thinking, some other options might be a peer tutoring service available at your school or an in-person tutor in your area. So now that we've established that you know what you're doing, now you need to make sure that you remember how to do all these things. And to do this, you have to study. I know it seems like the most obvious tip in the world, but really, make sure you study. Of course, make sure you study well in advance of your test, not just the night before. I like to compare it to running a race. You wouldn't do a super hard workout only the day before and not train at all before that. So why do that with your studying? I do have a lot of advice videos since pretty much my entire channel is dedicated to these study skills. I have videos about planning, time management, organization, different study techniques for each subject, how to take notes, how to not procrastinate and stay focused. I will link a ton of resources in the description to help you out. And lastly, you need to learn from the mistakes that you've made in the past so you can correct them and not make them again. I know it really hurts to go and look at all of those red pen marks and points taken off, but you need to go back and look at your past exams and papers and get that feedback. Then you'll remember which dumb mistakes you need to be careful about, and you can go back and study certain weaker areas to improve on them for the future tests. The next category are projects or other assignments that are based on the quality of the work. Just like for a test, you need to know the subject material. This, again, is just another way to demonstrate what you know. So you need to know some things. If it's available to you, definitely look at the rubric that will be used to score you. Because if you can tailor your project to fit the highest scores in all of those different areas, then when your teacher is grading it, they can just check off that you did all of these good things and give you a good score. Also, I definitely recommend looking at examples if they are available to you, so you can look at them and see the exemplars, look at what you like about them, what you don't like and would want to improve on. Obviously, don't copy them, but it's great to get inspiration from a variety of other sources and see what your teacher is looking for. Also, you can work with your friends so that you can compare your answers and discuss what would probably be a correct answer or build on each other's ideas, and you can peer critique each other's work. Essays are usually a different category from projects or assignments, but I'm going to consider them a type of project. First, before you get started on the whole essay, ask your teacher to look over the key elements like the thesis or maybe an outline. By checking in with them, they can help correct your course if you're going a little bit away from what they're looking for, and you won't be basing your entire essay on a thesis or outline that isn't quite right. Again, as I mentioned earlier, peer critique is really helpful because they can catch grammar or spelling errors that you might not have seen. Also, they can help point out when something is unclear in the writing. Since you're the one writing it, you know exactly what you mean and what you're trying to say, but to someone else, it might not make as much sense, so you know where you need to fix things to make more sense. And lastly, not something that's an instantaneous kind of thing to improve a specific essay, but if you read and write often, it'll help you improve your vocabulary, your understanding of grammar, and your knowledge of writing and structure, and all of this fun stuff about language and communication. And the last category would be homework or anything else that's graded on mostly completion, not necessarily quality or accuracy. Obviously, you have to do your homework. Don't just blow some things off or not put in your full effort just because it's a small assignment, because every point is still a point, and you don't want to regret slacking off on those 2 5-point assignments when they could push your grade over a borderline. One of the main issues with completing homework, though, is that it takes a lot of time. And if you feel that you're really rushed on time and don't have a lot of it, I will have some videos about time management linked in the description and in the cards. Thanks again to Pearson Smart Thinking for sponsoring this video. And now, go out there and study smart, work hard, do your best, improve those grades, and get that knowledge. And remember that although grades are important and it's great to be motivated to learn, grades don't define who you are, so don't stress out about them too much to the point that it's unhealthy. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you'd like more school advice, check out the links in the description. Also, be sure to check out Pearson Smart Thinking, also linked in the description. I upload new videos every Monday, and my Tumblr and Instagram are at studyquill. See you next time!